Well, welcome to the launch of the new strategic plan for Azusa Pacific University from 2020 to 2027. My name's Andrew Barton, and I'm the Vice President for Strategic Planning and Mission Integration. Look, I can't believe it's been 5 months since we were supposed to launch this plan, obviously interrupted by COVID-19. And it's been more than a year since as a community we've started this strategic planning process. I'm excited in this launch event that you're going to engage with that plan, that you're going to hear more details about the heart behind it, the 5 grand initiatives that will help provide the blueprint for the next 7 years. And frankly, you'll get a sense of the transformational possibilities of this plan and how it will truly change APU's ability to reach our community and our culture. The strategic plan is called Renewal, strengthening our capacity to cultivate Christ-centered scholars and leaders. Look, the plan is 53 pages. It's got a lot of detail and context, and I really encourage you to go read the whole document. You can find it at apu.edu/renewal. You'll find the full document as well as some summary pieces and videos. And faculty and staff, you'll be getting this executive summary in your homes in the next couple of days, where you can keep and reference as we step into this next 7 years. Look, part of the renewed vision in the strategic plan is an aspiration for Azusa Pacific University to be the premier Christian university in our culture and our times. And look, as we step into that space, I'm really grateful for President Ferguson's leadership over the last year or so in helping our strategic planning process, but also his leadership as we step into the next 7 years. You're going to hear from President Ferguson after this strategic launch film that you'll see in some other places, but I'd love you to be the first ones to see it, and then Dr. Ferguson will bring some comments. Over the last year, a team of faculty, staff and students have gathered to listen and learn, leaning into Azusa Pacific University's rich 120-year legacy. This group has imagined a bold path forward that outlines APU's vital role for our culture and times. From this engagement, Azusa Pacific created a strategic plan called Renewal, a plan to dramatically enhance APU's capacity to cultivate Christ-centered scholars and leaders, impacting the world with God's truth and love. So Renewal unveils 5 grand initiatives to be a model Christian university for our culture and times, a thriving university of choice, a collaborative organization, a leader in technology and data management, and a sustainable financial enterprise. There's a growing sense of shared excitement around this renewed vision to be the premier Christian university of choice for our culture and times. I see it evidenced by the hope expressed in the faces and in the words of our faculty, staff, and students as we move confidently into our future.
Every single person has a key role, and they're part of the story.
We've weathered storms, we've weathered changes, so we are now in position to take our experiences and move forward.
What does it mean to really engage and to understand that what we have to offer as salt and light to the world really does matter?
And given the complex social issues of our time, we need to be able to build bridges.
Making Christian higher ed affordable for all students.
And actually having a voice for those who are voiceless.
Ensuring that our environment is safe to learn and play and to grow.
Education really does transform communities.
We're taking that with us into the future.
So I think this vision inspires hope.
Understanding comes at the point of articulation.
Servants and workers for the kingdom of God for such a time as this.
To be Christ in the workplace, or Christ in the home, or Christ on the mission field.
You have the light, and that will shine.
We are sent out into the field to be those lights.
In Chinese, we say it, 使万民做门徒.
And we have almost 11,000 students.
Instructed, developed, shaped by our incredible faculty.
We want to see you grow, and we're going to walk alongside you in that process.
Students not only encounter Jesus,
but you can also be the best in the industry. And those two things do go together, and God honors that.
That just cultivates a spirit of people that are going to invest in the world in a different way.
As a researcher
in the world of animation and entertainment,
as an athlete,
performing and worshiping,
studying scripture,
making games,
physical education,
criminal justice,
professional artists,
ministering to our churches,
competent scientists. Having your studies be brought alongside the Christian perspective makes a difference.
You send people out into the working world who aren't just there to get the job done, they're there to get the job done for Jesus, and I think that changes everything.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Ferguson. I'm the president of Azusa Pacific University. And I'm so thrilled that you've joined us for this very special launch of APU's new strategic plan. This has been a process of about 1.5 years that I have been so honored to join with Andrew Barton and co-chair the strategic planning leadership team that has fully evaluated where APU is, where it should be, and where it should be going. We live in very challenging times, as you well know, not only with COVID-19, but the significant unrest in our country. And for the Christian university in particular, what is the role and scope of Christian higher education in our times today? Those have been challenging questions even before COVID, but now as a Christian university that's committed to making difference makers that will have an impact for Christ, it's a critically important question that we as a campus community want to address and move forward. So over the last 1.5 years, we have undertaken a tremendous engagement of our community, which you'll hear from today. But the question that we've been asking is, how do we celebrate the depth and excellence that APU represents? Over 100 years of academic excellence. How do we take advantage of that and prune that appropriately and ensure that going forward, our Christ-centered academic excellence truly has applications to the world in which we live? When we think about Christ-centered academic excellence, we are really trying to find how can we provide academic preparation to our students that is truly superb, but yet is bound in a Christian worldview that equips them to address these challenging issues and share Christ in a very challenging world. And so our challenge was to take advantage of who APU is today, the excellence that's been recorded in our academic programs, such as being recognized nationally as a research university, a wonderful representation of our faculty scholarship and their engagement with our students. And secondly, we are a community engaged institution, the same national recognition that APU is committed to the people we serve. When you put those two together, we really follow Christ's commandment to love the Lord your God with all our heart, soul, and mind, and to love our neighbors as ourselves. That's the essence of Christ-centered academic excellence. And so when we talk about our grand initiatives that are coming out of our strategic plan, we know that those grand initiatives have to figure out and promote APU as the premier Christian university for our culture and times and representing Christ-centered academic excellence. We want to be a model Christian university that people will look to APU and say, oh, I see that, I get it. You can be really a great scholar and leader and a Christ follower. That's our goal. And how do we do that in reality? So as you read our strategic plan and engage in the concept of we aspire to be a model Christian university, you will see that we really are seeking of how we can prepare our students to change the world. And so Renewal, strengthening our capacity for cultivating scholars and leaders, is to take advantage of the strength of APU, the 100-year legacy, to enhance it, and to adapt it to the world we live. And if we do that, we are expecting to become a truly thriving university that students and faculty, friends, neighbors will want to come and be a part of. And so to give you a little bit of insight of what a thriving university would look like, we've asked some of our APU community to comment.
And so I think what excites me about this vision is what it really means to be a university of choice. And for me, I think that signals that we have a deep desire to meet the needs of this generation of students who are more diverse and more technologically savvy than any generation we've seen before, but who also are facing problems in our world that we have never seen before.
We want to create classroom environments, spaces where we embed inclusive pedagogies so that students that are in our classroom see their narrative, see their background, see their experience, but also are exposed to new types of perspectives.
One of the distinctives of Azusa Pacific University is its commitment to serve the community that it's in.
That support takes on many different dimensions. So let's just talk about the student for a minute. Is that in that support, if I am a first-generation student, then I will know that I not only feel welcome, but I have many different avenues, initiatives, programs, places that I know I can just walk into. I can walk into an office cold, and I will be embraced, literally and figuratively, and my needs will be met.
Coming from a small community, APU had always seemed like something that was unobtainable, something that was far out of my reach. And knowing this and the vision that they want to create allows me to realize how much reach there's going to be towards my community.
And to have those around you that have blazed the trail before you to let you know, hey, you know what? This can happen. You can make a difference. You can set that example for your family and your friends around you.
It also excites me to think about the way that together we will weave together a climate where all of our students, all of our faculty and staff, they cultivate this incredible sense of belonging. They come with their best ideas. They come with their lived experiences, and we get to glean from each other, not just on academic content, but we contemplate how we learn from the cultural backgrounds, the ethnic and racial backgrounds of each other. And then we contemplate how we couple all of these elements of our identity with our faith and how that translates to our calling.
As APU's provost, I'm excited to talk about this next grand initiative, which is being a transformation and collaborative organization. And one of the things that APU is known for is our entrepreneurial spirit and the ways that we think about entrepreneurial engagement in our educational mission. One of the ways that we're going to be doing that is taking a look at our entire organization. How are we structured? How are we organized in terms of best meeting the needs of the 21st century student that we find ourselves working with today and in the future? We also are going to be taking a look at interdisciplinarity in terms of research and teaching. So having faculty members from different disciplines engaging together to discuss the common issues that we face in the world today together. And then finally is, what are we thinking and how are we going to grow the programs that are currently our academic pillars, and what new programs can we create in order to meet the demands of the student that's walking into our classroom, whether they be an 18-year-old or an adult learner that's looking to reskill and retool where they find themselves in terms of their career and vocation.
I'm Paula Martinez, Vice President of Human Resources. And the plan's commitment to create a transformational and collaborative organization is an exciting one for me. This grand initiative really sets out to enhance APU's reputation as a destination of choice for faculty and staff. And it's going to help to increase our leadership, development, engagement for all faculty and staff, and really just increase our retention rates across the board for all employees, but certainly for faculty and staff of color. Throughout this plan, I see a deep pledge and a commitment to invest in the university's most important asset, and that's that of our people.
As faculty moderator, I'm excited that the strategic plan prioritizes shared governance as an important initiative. This helps the university to move forward together to craft a brighter future as we move forward in Christ-centered academic excellence. As a faculty member, I'm particularly excited about the initiatives around student scholarships, faculty research engagement, and around endowed chairs. I'm excited to partner with administration as we look forward toward the next 7 years and a brighter future for APU.
The fourth grant initiative is to advance APU as a leader in technology and data management in higher education. I'm excited for the next 7 years and what that will offer as we invest $20 million in this area of technology and data infrastructure in order to be able to meet best practices in higher education. We need to be able to leverage our data in order to bring about positive change across all areas of the institution. In order to accomplish this, we're going to invest in building out a comprehensive data warehouse, improve our ability to provide data visualizations and reports, and most importantly, to develop a data analytics team that'll be able to inform each and every decision that we make in order to best serve our constituents, our students, our community, our staff, our faculty, and the institution as a whole.
I'm really excited about the Grand Initiative number 4, focusing on data and technology. I think it's such an important part of the university experience. The pandemic that we've been living through is highlighting that very clearly. It's changed the way that institutions of higher education have to function and operate in order to engage our students effectively, to deliver that same type of academic excellence that our students expect. I think APU has done a phenomenal job of equipping classrooms so that we have increased technology available to really provide that remote learning experience that keeps those same value propositions of APU during this fall 2020 semester. And then we're continuing that process in order to lead to increased technological advances that will support when we do return for face-to-face, but also allowing for that agility and the adaptability for whatever may come, which is really, really important. I think also for technology, the ability for us to be able to analyze and see how we better assist our students in order to lead to their success and retention. So for instance, our Canvas platform that we work in has the ability for us to evaluate students' engagement in the class. Are they going onto Canvas? Are they completing their activities? Which then allows for us to be able to better engage those students, ensuring their success and retention. And then finally, I would say there's a lot of research advances that come from increased technology as well. Me coming from a biology background, I'm really excited about that. You know, in the sciences, the ability to have the technology at the students' fingertips to be trained in the hands-on learning, in addition to the conceptual understanding, is really critical to their preparation for their graduate programs as well as their future careers.
The fifth and final grant initiative is to build a sustainable financial enterprise. This initiative is extremely important right now, especially with all the uncertainty that higher education faces today. This plan will allow us to build a sustainable financial model that will allow us to respond nimbly in the next 7 years to any changes in the higher ed landscape. It also allows for an investment of $125 million into our campus, technology, our faculty, staff, and students. In addition, it outlines a plan to grow our endowment to $142 million. This will directly impact our ability to grow and enhance our research initiatives while also creating more affordability for our students. As Chief Financial Officer, I see this grant initiative as laying the foundation for APU to thrive in the future.
So you've heard a little bit more about the heart behind the plan. Hopefully you've garnered a greater sense of the 5 grand initiatives and that overall blueprint, that framework that's going to shape the next 7 years of Azusa Pacific University. Hey, look, whether you're a faculty member, staff member, an alum, student, donor, or frankly, just a friend of APU, I hope you see a glimpse in the strategic plan of the importance and the opportunity to invest in an institution like APU to really step in and be that institution for our culture and our times. Look, I encourage you again to go to apu.edu/renewal and read about the full plan, see the 53-page plan, engage it, interact with it. Look, I'm very grateful for the leadership of President Ferguson, I've said that before, but also for our Board of Trustees who provide that governance and oversight for the university. And here now is the chair of that Board of Trustees, David Poole.
Hello, my name is David Poole. It's my privilege to be the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Azusa Pacific University. And on behalf of the women and men that serve in that board, I want to take this opportunity to commend the remarkable achievement of Dr. Paul Ferguson and his administrative team in leading this effort, which has delivered this strategic plan to us. One of the significant things I think about this plan is how it came to be. This represented collaboration and cooperation across the entire APU community, where members of the Board of Trustees sat in committees with administrators, faculty, and staff to work on this, and what I hope evidences a new era of cooperation and collaboration in leadership of the university. Let me affirm what others have said, that we believe that APU is uniquely positioned, despite the challenging times we are facing, to build on the heritage of this institution as a God-first academic university. We're also looking forward to seeing the God-first missional impact that will no doubt be accomplished as a result of the focused attention and investment of those matters which are laid out in the strategic plan. I want to just again thank all those who participated across this community in putting this strategic plan together, and we're looking forward to seeing how it guides us over the next 7 years.
Thank you, David, for your kind words and your support for this entire process of strategic planning. And thank you for the entire board being engaged from day one. And I hope that as you all listen and read the plan, you'll see that it is fully a consensus-based plan. The entire APU community has come together to enjoy this process of renewal. In fact, as I'm sure you'll see, that the strategic planning process has been twofold. One has been to engage each other, to encourage each other, to renew each other, and then to put out a product that leads us forward over the next 7 years that will renew the institution. So that's why Romans 12:2 is our verse. Renew our minds, be transformed, so that we might be able to discern the good and perfect will of God. That has been an exciting process, to embrace that process and to look forward to how God is going to work mightily for APU and to continue to cultivate Christian scholars and leaders. Thank you so much for enjoying this process with us, for joining us today, and we look forward to continuing this process of working together to move APU forward. To God be the glory.